Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Little Prince. We have another guest. I
We do.
know. I'm so excited to talk to her. I have read both of her books. I need answers. Before we get into it, we would like to give a shout out to Ghost Energy, who is not a sponsor,
Yet?
but we will be drinking it anyways.
Indeed. Gosh, you're so much faster with this. I'm always terrified to open them because I'm afraid I'm going to spritz myself.
Oh, I got spritz. I got squirted. Uh,
What are you
so
drinking today? Little
I
T-Rex?
I am a creature of habit, and the only two I have is orange creamsicle and this. I think this is pink lemonade, but I have it in a koozie because when I hit my recording table, it dings, and I'm sick of that in editing. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking the same one that I had a few episodes ago. It's the iced tea lemonade, and it's actually really nice. It's like 100,000 degrees here where I am right now. And this makes me feel beachy, which is perfect for the guests we have.
Yeah, what a segue, JV. Would you like to introduce our guest?
Spectacular.
We have the Kate Montgomery here, author of 2 books. I have only one available right now. Her latest release is Light Rose Larceny. It came out in June, and may I just say, it's such a stunning cover and such a fun, cozy story.
Yes.
Sorry, see, now I made the dinging noise. Did you hear that?
It was kind of like that, like Law and Order, like dun dun, like it was that kind
Dun,
of sound.
dun. You know what? And that fits
Very
too with
appropriate.
Light Rose Larceny. So is
Yes.
well, okay. I know Tyler has a ton of questions too, so I'll let you go first.
No. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just actually so excited because our friendship goes back to kind of when me and JV became friends, when I first started my bookstagram. And I have read Southern Breeze and Mimosa Trees, which is her first debut novel, which I'm sorry is in my giganto stack of
But
books.
Kate has it.
Okay,
Okay, hold it
perfect.
closer
Hold
for
it
the
closer
for the
so we can
viewers.
see.
Look at how beautiful that cover is too.
Oh my gosh.
Fun
Gorgeous.
fact for you both. I have kind of an inside scoop on the cover art. My husband designs all my cover art. So that makes it a little easier. If I don't like the cover, I can be like, we need to tweak.
I
And you get
that is
immediate feedback,
do.
immediate response. You're not waiting for nothing.
I do, and I feel bad when other people are like, I had to wait for weeks to get my cover back. I'm like, go do it. I need to like make changes.
and they get sometimes the cover artists get a little bit like miffed when you tell them I don't
Yeah.
like this because it's their personal work. I get it, but how does that work when it's your husband? Are you like, nah, babe, do not work?
He's used to my personality, so that helps, So we joke around about, there's the line from what's that movie called? My gosh, I can't think of it. Steel Magnolias, where he's like, I try to make it a point never to deal with my wife. I always tease him, but my husband's super flexible, and he knows, like, thankfully, because he's so creative, like when I give him ideas, he starts like sketching immediately and like comes up with things like Southern Breeze and Mimosa Trees. I was like, I want chairs. I'm thinking porch railing, maybe some mimosa flowers. And he was like, here's what I've got. Here's what I came up with. And like 2-3 iterations later, we had it.
Wow.
We actually released it with a different cover. And then here, I've got right here, the old cover.
Ooh,
This
there's
is
an
my
original.
original. And so with the pink
Which is
font, 'cause
also beautiful.
I like pink, in case you
Yes.
didn't notice that. And then we decided to kind of revise it a little bit after I met with a book marketer and went with the white font because she said this was a little too romance vibes. But I was like, it's okay. Like,
That's true. I would say that's probably true because it makes me think a little bit of like Megan Quinn.
yeah.
Because she's got for some reason, I associate pink with Megan Quinn.
Yeah.
For some reason, yeah. But I love your covers, and so your books are not romance. How would you
This one
describe
is
them?
like little bit of romance
Yeah.
story in it, like at their story as they grow. I love how Tyler describes my books as path of life. Like I didn't think of them that way, and then she said
She has
that, and
the
I was
best
like,
words.
I love it. That does. And
Oh,
then this one has
good.
a little bit of romance in it, but I don't define myself as a romance author, so necessarily.
So what would you describe yourself as?
So Southern fiction and women's fiction are the primary genres. That was a cozy mystery, but like my base genre is like women's fiction. Actually part of the Women's Fiction Writers Association. So that's fun to know
nice.
that there's such a collection and a group of other writers that focus on it. So it's like female-based stories, friendship, female friendship, like how we as women come together as a community. So Yeah.
which is always nice. We need more of that rather than the
100%.
infighting.
Yeah.
And this actually, Kate, this was my first cozy mystery.
That's it.
It's not usually something that I read. I'm not a cozy person. I tell Tyler all the time because we usually, when we have our guests on and the authors, we're like, we want to make sure one of us at least has read
Yeah.
the author's book.
Yeah.
Seems valid.
And so we're always like, okay, who are we going to have on? What do they write? And I'm always like, okay, Tyler handles the rom-com and the cozy stuff. And
Yeah.
I like the dark, traumatic,
Yeah.
like, make me cry.
Can't sleep at night, shivering, crying. Yeah.
Yeah. Did Tyler ever tell you, Kate, that she has day books and night books? Do you know this
Don't
about
think
her?
I've heard that yet. I know the
Yeah.
chocolate in the fridge, but the day book and night
The
book.
chocolate and the beer. I love Tyler so much.
I have my little quirks, but yes, definitely. If a book is too much in the sense of like either too thrillery, too murdery, too traumatic, those are my daytime reads so that if I'm going to bed, I'm not just thinking about the most current things.
No.
And then I'll save like fluffy romances or cozy mysteries or stuff like that for right before I go to bed. Sometimes it works. Sometimes I think about the last book. 9 times out of 10, I still dream about the first book that I read during the day.
Still
So,
gets you.
Still gets
I
me.
do kind of something similar. I don't necessarily refer to them as my day books versus my night books, but I can't read something that's gonna like either could happen to me in real life or like is too scary or too similar to like news articles. I'm like, I'm not gonna sleep good like if I do that. So I have like audiobooks that I'll listen to at night. So I'm a rereader. So if I have like a book that I'm like, this one's soothing because I travel a lot, I like have my sleep books that I know will like help lull me to sleep. Nothing scary.
So would you say then you write the books that you like to read too?
In some, yeah. I do like to read a lot of historical fiction. Like Kristen Hanna, like she will just annihilate me. Like if you need to cry, grab a Kristen Hanna because you're like weeping openly. I love historical fiction. But, you know, sometimes it's like you don't want to necessarily write exactly what you want to read because, I don't know. But I do love cozy mysteries, like really love them. Love Southern fiction, like Mary Kay Andrews. Like I like those style of books that are set in the South. I live in the South. And so it's just fun to get to read and write. Because they say write what you love because you have to read it 1,000 times by the time it publishes. So
True that.
that
Get
editing
sick of
phase,
it.
woo! I was so sick of my first book by the time it went live. I was like, I'm never reading it again. I've read it twice since then, but that's fine.
And so you first published in October 24, right?
I did, yeah.
Which was right around the time that I published my first book. I published for the first time in September. So we are still very new in the sphere. So let me tell you, as a you know, still kind of a newbie, how are you enjoying the author life? The writing is fun.
Enjoy it more than other times. Because it was so, like the first book, I've always written short stories. Like I grew up telling stories, writing stories. I remember in high school, like writing, you know, different stories and loving it and writing them in English class and verbal storyteller. I used to make up stories to tell as a kid. And it kind of snowballed on me. And one day I was writing and spent a lot of time on planes. I was writing on the planes and writing when I had free time. And I was talking to my husband about it, and he was like, just go for it. Just publish it. And so I didn't write the book with the intention of ever publishing it. It was just kind of, you know, you write, Jamie, so you know, you have like stories floating around in your head. And it's like you see the movie before you write the book. And so I was like, well, I might as well go for it. It's nearly finished. So I don't think I decided to publish until I was about 2/3 of the way done. And then I was like, I think I'm going to try this. Like, I'm just going to self-publish. I knew literally nothing really about it. And did some like research, listened to some podcasts. There's the self-publishing, the abbreviation is SPA. It's a podcast where they talk about self-publishing a lot. And I was like, I'm just going to try it. I'd looked at traditional and decided to go this way. I don't love the editing part so much. And I was unprepared for the amount of marketing I would have to do. Did not see that coming because I kind of like I didn't have an internet presence when I started it. Like I had my personal stuff, but I had no Instagram to announce it. I did no prep work to like because I didn't have this plan. And that's why when I first met Tyra, like I was like, oh my gosh, she wants to read my book. What is happening? Like the first voice note you left me or voice memo you left me, I was like screaming. I was like, hi, this lady with this bookstagram answered me. You know, I was so excited and screeching and The parts that I love about it, though, are like the relationship building and the community, and like
Yes.
you find yourself in little pockets of the internet and pockets of people that
Mm-hmm.
you never expected to interact with.
Yes.
And we all basically are having like the same experiences, right? Like you're in the trenches with
Yes.
editing and now you have to send it off and you get your notes back from your editor and you're like, that hurt my feelings. But
Devastated. Yeah, and you know what? That is so. I completely agree with you, Kate,
yeah,
as just from the author perspective, right? Because writing can feel really lonely. I mean, it's just you and the voices in your head,
yeah,
and then
in a good way.
you don't. I mean, I don't know if you're the same way as me, but I suffer from imposter syndrome, and I'm like, this stuff is terrible. Nobody's gonna want to read this. Blah 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 blah. And then when you find your community, I mean, I have made better, more genuine, closer connections since I've, been on this author journey than ever in my life. It only took me, 27 plus 13 years. So
Plus or minus a couple. It is true.
blue elephant,
Maybe.
purple elephant.
I know. We heard nothing. We heard nothing. You just find these people and you're like, where have these people been? Because you're right. When
Yes.
you're writing, you're like, this is trash. No one's going to read this. Like my family's going to support me, but they'll
Maybe.
decide. Maybe. Thankfully, I have very supportive. My sister, she's very supportive. She and my niece, my oldest niece, they are like my beta readers. And I'm like, is this trash?
Oh, I
Like,
love that.
can you tell
She's
me?
also an author, right? Your sister?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's almost done. She's got her debut novel. I don't want to do too much spoilers for her, but yeah, my sister's also an author.
That's so cool.
The creativity kind of runs deep in the family.
My
Um,
father has never read my book.
Oh. Is it a
Buys
book
them.
you would like though? Like, is it
No.
a genre? Okay.
No.
Absolutely not. But I'm like, I feel like you should.
Skim through it. Like, if it's not your genre, at least give it a go. Like,
Yeah, my
try.
dad is not a fiction reader. He's
Okay.
he's nonfiction.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
strong German man who reads
Strong.
strong
I do
Very
like
strong German.
nonfiction though. Like, the biographies like Teddy Roosevelt in 1776 and John, I love them. Like, I love them.
I do like a good biography. I
Yeah.
like Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good. Those
Yeah.
are good. Tyler, you're awfully quiet.
You are.
Well, you keep chatting. I'm just
Sorry.
joking.
Dive in the middle, just like off the diving board, straight to the center.
Well, I'm the editor, so I know how hard it is to like edit out when two people are talking over each other. So I try and like space it out. But I have a question for both of you actually, because it doesn't make sense in my brain how you would sit down and put so much effort into writing something not with the intention of publishing. What do?
Yeah.
You just keep it on your shelf for like just to get it out of your brain, or
Yeah.
What?
I think it's kind of like journaling in a way. Like, when you have a lot
Okay.
inside, like putting it on paper and not even like troubling things, just like when your brain is cluttered, like clutter the page to clear the brain or whatever that, technique thing is. But when you hear these like stories and not voices and like, but like when you hear
Not the schizo way.
yeah, like the people stories version of voices in your head. And it's just like, I had intended to just write it out. Like, I'm a handwriter. So, like, probably the first 4 or 5 chapters of my book were written out longhand.
Oh my
I
god.
don't do that anymore because let me tell you, that was bitterly painful to put into the computer. Like, that took me a long time. But, like, I was just writing it out. I thought, well, if nobody ever sees it, it's fine. Like, I've always written, like, little short stories and quick snippets and always been, like, a journaler. And so I thought, well, if nobody reads it, they just don't read it. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, that was me too. I just started writing it because and Kate, it might be the same for you, because for me, it's like they're talking to me. They're not really talking to me, but they're talking with each other in my head. So there's a whole story, and it literally it takes away my computing power. So it's like, the internet is bogged down when you have too many devices going on, and I can't focus on anything else if I don't get that plot point or that story or whatever out of my head. It just wants to come to life.
It does.
So I write it down, and then I can focus on something else. And when I first started writing, it was really just for the joy of the story. And I was the same way. Never intended to publish. I had worked on that book before I even told my husband about it, probably about 10 years or so I
Oh,
started when I was in
wow.
law school, then
Wow.
put it on hold because then career and babies and blah, 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 blah. And then started writing again. And then my husband one day was like, "What do you always do on your laptop in the evening?" And I'm like, well, shit, I guess I
Watch
got to
You're
come
porn.
like,
clean.
Yeah.
Well, the porn. But when that's done, so I was like, I guess I got to come clean about
yeah.
my habit. And then he's like,
Like
oh
it's an
shit, this sounds
addiction.
really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
read it to me. So I read it to him, and he's like, you should publish this. I'm like, you're full of shit.
Mm,
Sorry, I cuss a lot.
That's okay. That's funny. Yeah, because
Yeah,
it feels so personal, right? Like,
it
because
super personal.
you literally do hear them talking, whether it's at you, to you, and you sketch. I'm a plotter. I don't know if you're a plotter or a pantser. I
Answer.
initially did not plot most so I had an idea of where their story was going just because I'd heard it in my head so many times, right? But you're writing and it's like all of a sudden like they're talking to each other and like you have no control over what's happening. You're just like
No
along
control.
for the ride. You're like, let me just
mm.
type this out and these conversations happen and this banter's happening and you didn't create it. Like it just came out because it's like their voices and it's
Exactly. Exactly. I'm
yeah.
writing, I'm working on some expanded editions for my books
I
with
saw that.
some new
So
covers.
yeah.
And I'm writing an epilogue for my second book. And I'm
Mhm.
like, let me just sit down and see what happens. And I'm like you said, I'm just along for the ride because it's a conversation. I'm like, all right, what are they gonna say next to each other? And it literally it is birthing as I'm writing this because I had no idea what it's gonna be. And I still don't know how it's gonna end.
It'll be
I
a
have no
surprise
clue.
to everyone.
It's just an epilogue, so I'm like, I'm just gonna give him a little more material, but I have no idea. I'm sorry, guys, for those of you who are listening, actually, who read my books. I'm like, I have no idea what this epilogue is
Anxiously
gonna be
awaiting
about.
your plot. You're like, there isn't one. Spoiler.
Yeah, I'm like, you're all gonna be as surprised as me when this is done.
Yes. Yeah.
That's so cool. Like I definitely don't have that. I definitely don't have like things in my brain that I need to get down. I think like I am a type A person where I plan everything, like my freaking content calendar for all of my socials. Like I
And I
write down
love you
the
for that.
whole month in advance.
I need
So
to
I
be
guess
like
in
you.
a sense I'm a plotter, but just
Mhm.
in life, just a
Life
life
plotting
plotter.
is essential. It is.
Yeah.
Life plotting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that I don't have that because with everything else I have going on, if I had freaking people talking to me and telling me their stories, I'd be like, listen, you need to sit down.
Too much
I do.
happening.
I yell at them. Kate, do you yell at yours? Because sometimes I'll be in the middle of writing or I'll have a
Yeah.
self-imposed deadline or whatever, and then some new story will pop into my head, some new people, and I'm like, no, get in line. Don't talk to me right now. I
Take a
don't have time
ticket.
for you.
It
Yeah.
does happen. Like I'll have to like go and start on that chapter because
Oh,
it's
okay.
like I know there's like a point and it's like I feel rushed to get to that section. For the most part, I write the story in order, but occasionally there is something that it's like so burning that it's like I have to get started on that one now to give myself like the freedom to be able to get there. Because you have to have like the beginning and the middle and you start to crest before the climax of the story. But it's like sometimes that's the part that you want to write. And it's almost like a reward for yourself. Like I know I have to get this stuff down, but then I'm gonna get to the part that I want. But on some days it's like I have to just write that part and then backtrack my way back because I know what's going to happen and not like fully know because like I said, sometimes you're typing and you're like, what the heck was that? While you're typing it out, but you have to clear it out sometimes.
I usually do that. I
Yeah.
write the parts that are
Mhm.
burning
Right.
because I don't know, it just feels so good.
Yeah.
I feel like
And then
JV feels
the
so
rest.
seen right now.
Oh, this is like everything Kate is saying. I'm like, yes. Sorry, that was loud.
It's okay. Tyler can lower the volume for that section.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just so nice to know that other people feel this way because it's
Yeah.
like an urge.
It
Like,
is. It is.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
and then I
mhm.
have the passion. I need to I
Mhm.
need to act on it.
And you have
That's
to
so
write
cra-
that while it's there, right? Because then when
Yeah.
it's gone
Yes.
and you're like sitting there plugging away and you're like, I have to get to like sometimes when I'm doing my first draft, like I leave myself notes like this needs to be more or like do better, more words. And I'm like, that's super helpful when I'm going back to the next like returning to it. Cause I don't write like, 900,000 5,000 word count books. Like mine are on the smaller side, but still like you do want to fill in the story and you need some of that like filler part to get there. I really like the tastes and the textures of the food and the drinks and the like, I think that's fun because those are the
You do
best
such
parts
a
of
good
life.
job. Yeah, of describing all of that stuff. I'm like sitting there, I'm like, God damn it. Now I'm hungry.
Now
A friend of
I
mine
need
told me
that.
she needed to go to like join. I forget what she said. Like I have to join Weight Watchers after reading your book or something. Because I love to describe food. Like to me, that's like the fun parts of life, right? Like what do? You sit down with your friends out on the deck and you have a drink and you have delicious food. And I have friends
Yeah.
that like to bring foods to my house, and like so that's like the joy of life. And so having those snippets and fun parts in there. So for me, some of the filling in is like looking up recipes and looking at regional dishes and finding things and putting in foods I love and drinks I love, and it's just fun.
Yeah.
That was one thing that I was going to mention about your book because we try really, really hard not to give anything really away. Like we're going to do at the end like a plug so you can like explain your books and stuff like that. But one thing about Light Roast Larceny, I need to anytime I leave my house and I'm going to a neighbor's house, food. Anytime. Macaroons. There was pizza. There was a cake. There was like anytime, even if they're going over to go sit on their porch, had food, had beers, had drinks. And I was like, where are those people in my life? Where you just come over with food.
Yes, I know.
And it was just like it was such a beautiful blossoming of like all of the friendships in that book. I have to ask, and I don't know if you can answer this fully because again I don't want it to be a spoiler, but what was your starting point with Light Roast Larceny? Like what was the plot point that you were like, gotta get it
That's
down,
the
this is
one.
becoming a book? Yeah.
So this book actually started long before Southern Breeze Mimosa Trees. I had started this book years ago with the opening scene of her being on the porch and her nosy, irritating neighbor was like coming over and
that
calling her
Edna.
out, right? Because like
Yeah.
for some reason, I have a tendency to occasionally attract a neighbor that loves to tattle on me to my husband. Like, oh, Kate didn't take the trash out in time. Like, I don't know why. It's like it seems to follow us around wherever we go. And so like the nosy neighbor component, like we used to have a neighbor that would like rush to get out the door to talk to my husband before I could when we lived in an apartment. It was so funny, but it was weird. Anyway, so some of that like kind of played in like weird neighborhood interactions. And I grew up in like a really small town where like you're aware of everything your neighbors do. And so that was like I just pictured this like hot mess kind of girl sitting on her porch trying to get her morning together and this neighbor coming over to like bombard her because she has weeds, like that like
Still
feeling
no
like,
job?
right,
Yeah.
you have no job and you have weeds in your yard, get your life together. And so like, and I pictured just this like nasally like hello, like irritating, like get under your skin from the outset voice. And so that was where I started. And initially, when I started writing the book, I wasn't like thinking like cozy mystery. I was just doing another path of life book. But I was like, where's this going to go? Like I had this story of this person in my head and like her like misadventures of like she wants to help so bad. And like, is she just going to get in the way? Because those are kind of my favorite like people in books that are like just genuine, just trying to lead their lives, get sucked into something and then are like helping or hurting. Like we don't know. And so it just kind of spiraled from there of like looking at the story and like, which direction can this go? Like, what are these people doing with their lives? Because nobody wants to read a book that is just like humdrum, like, and I went to the mailbox and like you gotta have a story.
Over descriptive books, we don't like them.
Right,
here.
right. And so like, you gotta have a little mystery to it.
Yeah.
And so just thinking about like, what would her life take and how is she going to have this episode where so I guess I had Cece as a character before I really had her full story kind of fleshed out. So that was fun to kick that off. But it was the scene with Edna was what started it from the beginning. Just like her sitting on the porch trying to get her life together.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Having
I hated
like,
Edna.
being able to. She was great.
She was fantastic. Best character in the book. No.
Like in my one description, I have her described as her octogenarian nemesis because I'm like, it's so true. Like she's just out to get her.
Totally.
She is.
Totally. And she's so like just everything. And then of course she's corralling all of the other neighbors to be like, we're gonna hate on Cece. And it's just Cece. Like nobody else. She doesn't care about anybody else's weeds.
Yeah.
Gerald's house went untouched for a while. Didn't care about that.
She just really just hates her. Like I don't know why. She just hates her.
And it's never flushed out. I would love like a path of life from Edna.
Like a
How she
novella.
got to being so bitter.
Stay tuned, my friend.
Woo! So one other question I have. So you have two adorable dogs in the book named Coco and Aggie, right?
Hmm.
So Aggie Christie and Coco Chanel. Do
Yeah.
you actually have like smaller dogs in your
I do
life like
not.
that?
I have a
Oh,
very large dog. He's sleeping over there. And then I have a mid-sized dog. I have never owned, not since childhood have I owned tiny dogs. I'm a big dog person. But lately I've been wanting like a little squishy dog. And so, yeah, they're just dogs of my imagination that I would love to have.
oh, amazing. JV, I think that puts us into a
That segues
giveaway.
that segues nicely into our giveaway. So Kate has graciously agreed to give away a signed copy of her most recent book, Light Roast Larceny,
Five
Cozy
stars.
Mystery.
So good.
Beautiful. And so what we do is we always have our guests give a code word for our listeners to listen for and then DM us. So Kate, would you be so kind and share your code word?
I would. And using Tyler's beautiful segue she created, my big baby dog, his name is Banks. So we're going to go with that as our code word.
All right, so Banks
Banks.
is the code word, y'all.
Is that an abbreviation to like Banksy or like
Sort of, yes. So we do love Banksy the artist, but he came to us from a rescue and his name was Bear Banks. And so we dropped the bear, which is the weirdest name ever.
Bear Banks.
He was this little bitty puppy with two names. And so we dropped one of the names and he's Banks. I call
Banks
her Banks.
works.
cute?
Yeah.
The names they give them at shelters is outlandish. Like my one dog, her name's Pepsi Cola, but she came to me as Barbina, like the
Oh,
pasta. And
interesting.
Lola was, what was she? She was Suki or something like that, or
From
Saki, like
Gilmore
the
Girls?
Japanese
Oh, so
alcohol. Yeah, and she's like a husky coyote, so I was like, what?
Odd.
all right.
My German Shepherd came as Donovan, and I was like,
Oh,
no, he's
all
Murphy
right.
now.
Murphy. Yeah, Murphy is my dog. By the way, I
I
love
agree.
Pepsi Cola. That is the cutest name.
Pepsi Cola.
Yeah,
I love
she's a handful. Okay, so let's talk about your two books. So you said that Light Rose Larceny you've been writing for a very long time.
it. Yeah.
So Southern Breeze and Mimosa Trees, I read that book so fast. And like you said, like Path of Life is the way I would describe your books, because especially that one. Maybe
Yeah.
not so much Light Rose Larceny. I mean, there is definitely Path, but you're really going through like the whole story with Southern Breeze and Mimosa Trees.
Hmm.
And there were so many points where my heart just like stopped because the main character, something would happen and I'm like, this is it, this is the end. And then it wasn't. And then they kept going and I was like, oh my God, you're literally like it's unintentionally keeping me on the edge of my seat. So how did that book come about?
It just like I was saying, you see a movie in your head before you even start writing the book. And I think I've worked in and around healthcare for decades and just, that there's certain aspects of life that everybody faces, right? And I don't want to do too many spoilers for it, but and what matters when you're going through something hard is your community and the people that you
Mhm.
have around you. And it can be family, it can be friends that feel like family. And so part of their story is building that community that you have around you and why that makes a difference and how you can deal with hard things because people love you through it. And having gone through hard things, like that's what gets you there, right? Like, because you can't do anything alone. And you can still find beauty and gratitude when things are hard. And that I think
Mhm.
was one of the things that when I was writing the book, I just kept thinking about like it honestly, life is what you make it. Terrible things can happen. And the book is not a book based on terrible things happening, but it's just, the story of your life and things can happen and it shapes you. And sometimes it's your perspective that lets you get through it. And so
Mhm.
finding joy in small things, finding gratitude in small things, even when it's hard, like you can still find love when things are hard. It doesn't mean you have to live in like isolation. And so that was just part of the story is like things might be hard. We've all gone through things. It wasn't inspired necessarily by any real life events. It was just this story that I kept seeing and hearing in my brain. And I was like, I'm going to just write it. I'm going to tell it. And never thought it would see the light of anything other than my notebook.
I
So
loved it.
are you feeling the pressure then, or are you already working on a third book?
I have started a third book, but it is part of my Coastal Coffee mystery series. When I wrote Southern Breeze and Mimosa Trees, because I was writing it just as their story, I didn't really think about a second book for it. And I've tried a couple of times, and I feel like I'm forcing it. Like, it hasn't come to me yet what their story continuation will be. Like, I've tried several different plot points, and I've looked at different things, and I really want to keep their story going, like Greer and Max's story. And I've thought about, should I do like Hattie's prequel, like her life before, and you know what got them there and what helped her, what shaped her to build a sense of community. I just can't get there yet, and I don't know if it'll ever happen. But I have started on book 2 of my cozy mystery series. So.
Very,
Please tell me
very
there's
nice.
more Brad, because
There will be more Brad. There
I
will
love
be more
Brad.
people stories.
I just love him.
You're watching yesterday on the plane. I was dying. I got her a voice note. I love that Tyler sent me voice notes. So I got her a voice note on the plane yesterday. I was like, yes, you're right. I would have been crushed too.
We can't spoil anything,
We
but
won't. We won't.
no, you guys need to pick up both of these books. I think one thing you do very, very well is the found family. Like, you do found family, like, so well. At both books, it had it, right? Like, you still had core family in Southern Breeze and Mimosa Trees, but there was always neighbors and stuff like that that would come over and, like, have spontaneous parties. Oh, where are those people in my life also?
In California.
Yeah,
We're just like,
seriously.
come here.
Yeah, right. You guys come to my small town.
That's
We'll hang
right.
out.
Oh, we'd have epic parties.
Yes.
It's true though, because I mean, you know, I have a close knit family, like a very loving family, but then I've moved all over the place. And so you have to build community wherever you are because you end up feeling alone and you end up feeling isolated if you don't. And it can be people that you meet in your neighborhood, it can be people you meet at an event or church or wherever you want to find them. But you can find them, and then that makes you feel like you have a home, even if you're not in your geographical home where you grew up. It just gives you a different sense of belonging, and even internet friends, like the who knew from a quick note we sent back and forth to one another, and then I'd get to meet JV, and so you can build community even if it's not right in your home. And sorry, I can't bring you a key lime pie or cupcakes, Tyler or JV, but
Oh, do you make key lime pie?
I do. It's one of my favorite things to make.
That's why you're Cece. I told you.
She
Poor
did.
Cece.
And he's like, I can kind of see it.
Yeah.
Well, you
JV, do you make key lime pie?
I'm not a pie eater. I'm too German.
Ah.
Pie's not my thing.
Yeah, that's okay.
I like bread.
I've been trying to make bread. I'm not great at it though.
Me neither.
Too dry.
But I like to eat it.
I do. I love me some bread.
I'm not
do
a
love
good
bread.
baker, but I am a good eater of baked goods.
Yeah, you're a passion eater, even if you're not a baker.
Yep, exactly. So I wanted to, you filled out our guest questionnaire, and we always ask for hot takes. And this really is a hot take because I was sleuthing threads the other day, and there's like another big AI thing, and AI is just, as an author, it's so frustrating because you have people coming out saying that the biggest giveaway that you wrote your story with AI is your use of an M dash. And I'm like, no, that just means I paid attention in English class.
I went to
But
school.
you had the exact same take. You said that everything is AI mode.
Yeah.
Right, especially in punctuation. I mean, that is a huge, it's just stop. Because I keep saying, like, you know why AI writing has so many common phrases and punctuation? It's because it was trained on our work.
It was.
It's not
Exactly.
us using AI, it's AI using us. And I just saw this terrible thing by an author who posted something on Threads about how she had entered into a contract for some kind of story or something. And they apparently ran her work through an AI detector. So they ran her work through AI, accusing her then of using AI, saying that 96% of her work was generated by AI. And I'm like, that, as a lawyer, I'm telling you right now, that's a breach of contract. You need to go and get legal counsel because that is defamatory. That is an interference of business relations. That is all kinds of issues that I foresee. I'm like, what is that? People need to stop. Why are we looking for so much drama?
Because people love it. People love to find the next thing to get mad about. And it's kind of like, find something to do with your life. Like, you know, what the youths are saying, go touch grass or whatever they're saying. Like, there's always like constant like witch hunts. And I feel like a lot of it is rooted in just unhappiness as selves, right? Like you always have to find something to be irritated about. And the AI thing, like I love an M dash. I text with M dashes, like for heaven's sake. Like ellipses and M dashes, those are part of my daily communication, not just in my writing. Like it's a great use of like a pause or punctuation. Sorry, there's something.
It is. It's a break into, and they're like, no, just use a comma. No, a comma does not serve the same purpose. It's not the same thing. And if you paid attention in English class, you'd know that. Yeah. It's not the same thing.
It's not. It's a different weight. Like punctuation marks have different weight. Like I'm a chronic over exclamation point user. So like when I edit my book, I'm like, oh, that's 3 exclamation points in one paragraph. I need to take those out.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, too many. And so like I love to use punctuation as it's intended. Now, am I always grammatically correct? No. Like, can I put a comma in the right spot? No, usually not. Not also a good speller. Just it's not like, thank God for autocorrect. I used to be a good speller as a kid and I'm not anymore. But with the AI thing, like you're totally right. It got trained on the works of others. And I saw somebody post, is it Mary Shelley that wrote Frankenstein? Like she used M dashes. And it's like, certainly AI did not exist when she's writing Frankenstein, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
And so that is something that I'm just getting really tired of seeing. And I feel like the moment it dies down, it's like being brought back up. Like
it's like that with all the bookish, the drama is cyclical, right? With the same with listening to an audiobook is not reading. And I keep thinking like, you guys, not everything that's in your head needs to be put on the internet.
Right.
Sometimes thoughts are better kept inside.
Yeah.
You don't why? I know some of this is rage baiting and fishing for engagement and stuff, but I'm just like, do we not have enough things to worry about in this world? That we need to artificially, create this drama and make other people's lives even more miserable. Is this necessary?
Yeah.
Is this necessary?
And I think, like, I also saw somebody say, like, if you're running another author's work through a chat GPT generator, whatever AI generator, first of all, they're often wrong. Second of all, it's copyright infringement. Like, you know more about that than I do. But I saw a post about it. I thought, well, I hadn't thought of it that way, but it would never occur to me to be like, oh, I read this great book. Let me put it in chat GPT and see if it's AI. Like,
yeah, if AI tells me it's AI.
Yeah.
And even those people who created the AI detectors have come out and admitted that they are not, in fact, good at detecting whether something was generated with AI. It doesn't work.
From a technical standpoint, and this is like, we have AI a lot in our jobs, and we're working more and more with AI as we progress, just because we're in IT infrastructure. Yeah. People don't understand that AI was built by humans. AI is not artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence learns on its own. It creates its own brainwaves. It creates its own decisions. It is a conscious being. AI is just a program. AI is Windows. AI is all it is it's just advanced technology. But like you guys have said, the only way that AI can learn is by reading stuff that humans have made. So like, I think the term AI, like, it should have never been called AI in the first place. Artificial intelligence means that it's its own celestial being that can make its own decisions and stuff like that, and not be taught. It's like a human, you know? I mean, humans are taught. Where am I going with this analogy? All I'm saying is people need to get off the AI train. Like, YouTube is actually doing something. This is totally not related to books or whatever, but YouTube has come out and said, like, all of those videos where it's like AI talking over just like people's random videos
all the time. I hate it so much.
They're not monetizing them anymore. Anything that is not content created by a human is no longer being paid by YouTube.
Okay.
That's good.
Which is great, because they're pulling AI out of a creative space, which they need to do in every aspect. Yeah. I don't know how that would work with written word. Like, it's a lot easier for me to sit down and record a YouTube video and you can see me, I'm a human, than, you know, written word or just voiceover, right?
Yeah.
So, like, it's, people need to like, if you're going to have a conscious argument about something, one, be factual.
Yeah.
Two, understand the root of what you're talking about. Like, you need to know that AI isn't AI.
Yeah, it
Like,
didn't just spring to life out of nothing. Like it was created.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was created by a human. Guess what? Humans are flawed. Guess what? That program is going to be flawed.
Yeah.
It's a tool. I mean, like, you know, the other day I needed to make a breakfast casserole and I was like, so I was like, make me a recipe. I have these ingredients. And it was so much easier than Googling. And I know there's the whole, you know, we shouldn't use it as a superpower Google because of the energy usage and things like that. But it's a tool. And I think if you're using it as a tool, that's one thing, but it's not a creative in and of itself. Like it cannot be.
I agree.
It has to be
I agree.
fed what needs to be in there. And sorry, go ahead, Josie.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I agree because I do agree. I do agree that it's a tool. I don't think it has any place in the creative space because I think of as AI as a tool that should alleviate things that allow me to be more creative. So if AI could come and fold my laundry for me, I would appreciate that so I can write.
Yeah.
I don't want
my
AI to write for me. I want it to take all the other stuff off my plate so I can focus on my creative endeavors.
It can write a grocery list for me because that helps, you know, like make a list for me with these dietary restrictions and whatever, and that makes my life easier. But as far as
yes,
writing the
things
books,
like that.
involved.
Yeah.
I've never asked AI to write a book, but I'm pretty sure if you asked AI to write a book in like a specific genre with specific things, it wouldn't be great.
No,
because you need
I
a
can't
human
imagine that
brain to think about human situations.
Yes.
You know? Like it takes it back to like Marvel with like what's his name, Ultron. He only became evil because he learned from humans.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you're not
all
a,
the
if you're
data
not
that was there. Yeah.
yeah, he only, like, robots only learn from what we tell them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
I
It's
completely
I don't
agree. All right. Well, as much as I don't want to, I think
I
we
know.
need to wrap it up.
We have 2 more guests today, but we're like, I would love to sit and have you back on and
This
talk.
was
So
fun.
for your next book, Kate, if you would be interested, we'd love to have you back.
Oh, I'd love to come back. It was fun to sit and chat with you too. And yes, this was awesome. It was a lot of fun. And Tyler, real quick before we wrap up, yesterday I was on a plane. Tyler was sending me voice notes through Instagram. I couldn't send her back. She literally made me cry. It was the sweetest thing ever. So thank you. When you said I'm so proud of you, I was like weeping on the plane in a public space, like super cool.
She's good at that.
She is, and it just meant so much, and I appreciated it so much. So
I honestly, I was really proud of you. I think this was my record for reading a book. I think it was like 7 hours that I sat and I still haven't picked up the Hunger Games, but you know, maybe I'll get to it at some point.
Forced reading either. It feels like college. Like I just can't force myself to read something. I'm a mood reader, so I feel that.
All right, Tyler, do the plug.
Right.
Okay, perfect. So I don't know if you've ever seen Hot Ones, but they have a little thing at the end where they throw the camera to them. They can kind of do their what books they have, where you can find them, stuff like that. So I'm gonna get into exit Tyler mode.
All right.
Great, that's gonna be on YouTube. Kate, it has been such an honor sitting and talking with you. I am a huge fan of your writing, and I can't wait to have you back on for your next book, whenever that happens. But before we let you go, the mic is yours. Let the people know what you got going on in your life.
And where we can find you.
So much pressure. No, thank you both for having me on. This has been just so much fun. Like I love just sitting and chatting and yapping with you both. So my books are available in most places. They're on my website. You can purchase directly through me. It's magnoliasandmanuscripts.com. You can purchase through your general retailers. I've sold books all over the world. They're in Canada, Indigo. I know Tyler loves Indigo. So check out my website. I also put all kind of fun stuff. I'm getting ready to do a signing at Bookish Boutique in Florida in September. So if anybody's local, come on down and So I try to keep up with it on there, but working on my third book, about 5.5, 6 chapters in, depending on how I choose to split it. So it's been a joy chatting with you both. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so
And
much.
where can we
Kate.
find you on socials?
So Instagram and TikTok, Magnolias and Manuscripts, and Threads as well. Like on TikTok, it made me put the letter N instead of and because I started to run out of characters, but it's and with underscores on Instagram and Threads.
Editing Tyler here, just letting you know that you can also get her books at the Bookish Boutique in Florida as well as the Crafty Bookstore in Indiana. Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kate.
It was so fun. I'm so glad I got to sit down and chat with you both, and hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too.
You too.
All right, wishing you no fuck wishes. Bye. Have a good one.
Bye. All right.
Okay, you look very cute, by the way. I wanted to comment on your shirt, but we had time
Thank
to go